What got you here won't get you there. You've heard that before. We had great systems in my copywriting business and agency until we didn't. That's why in this video, I'm going to take you behind the scenes of 3 different systems in my business that I said, whoa, stop. We need to hit the timeout button on this and completely overhaul these. They're clogging up everything, at least for me. If you've ever had that moment in your business, you're not alone. Me too. So let's dig into it. These are 3 ride or die systems that I just totally hit the reset button on in my business. Click like if you're ready to jump in. Hello, if we've not yet met, my name is Ashlyn Carter. I'm a conversion copywriter and brand and launch strategist for creative entrepreneurs. I'm the founder of Ashlyn Writes, a boutique copywriting agency, and the Copy Bar, because you need to be equipped and know how to make more money with your words as an entrepreneur. I'm here to help you do that. I'm also here to help you with efficiency and to be able to do that fast because I myself am a mom of 2 with 1 on the way. I was just Voxering with our agency lead yesterday, and I was saying, Sarah, do you remember back in the good old days, like 5-6-ish years ago, when we had our systems so dialed in? They were incredible. Those pillars, those tenets that we set in place have worked so well over the years, but there's been some changes because life. 1 kid, then 2 kids, now 3 kids, and not just 3 kids, but maternity leaves, so time's off, which I'm gonna take again. And not just for me, but members on my team. I feel like I always have somebody on a maternity leave, which is awesome. It's also hard to run a business sometimes with that. And whether you deal with that in your own business, life happens. You need to go on a break. You need to take a sabbatical or a reset, or you move. Job changes in your family. You deal with an unforeseen tragedy or something comes up. My friend Jordan has a business called Systems Saved Me that totally hits. They save me over and over again in my business. I depend on systems. But like I said, we've had a lot of changes and the team has grown immensely too. One thing I say a lot, I say it inside the Art of Efficiency program, you cannot hand off a messy system to someone and expect them to do well with it. Very few people are gonna come in and perform surgery on that and execute it to the level that you wanted it to be. Hand off clean systems to people, whether you're onboarding your first person or you're 17. Let's get into these. By the way, this is all stuff that I'm including in the brand new Art of Efficiency program. Look down below to get on the wait list. The first system I said, hold the phone, we need to address is Canva. You love Canva, right? We all do. It is such a fascinating and powerful tool. They've also launched an incredible line of AI stuff that helps us do our jobs even better. I love Canva. We use it all the time. It's also a complete disaster area if you let it get that way. Especially if you've got multiple cooks in the kitchen and people designing things. You've got somebody working on ads. You've got other people creating collateral to help your membership. Now, insert the Taylor Swift meme, hi, I am the problem. I get asked sometimes, who is your designer? I do have recommendations for people to design different things, but it's a problem that I do create about 85 to 90% of the imagery that you see go out for my brand. I like aesthetics. I'm very picky about what I want. That's something I need to get over and start to hand off more. So one great way I can start is being more particular and cleaning our Canvas so it's easier for other people to slot in and produce work that I don't have to go back and tweak because I am a crazy anal person. I need to give people better standards and operating procedures from a design standpoint. So here's what I did. The first thing I did is a major cleanup of what Canva calls the brand hub. This is if you have a paid Canva account, which I absolutely recommend. So going in and deleting old files, old logos or lockups that I just didn't like, old imagery elements that had been in there, cleaning the palette, which was already pretty established, just gutting it, making sure that the elements that I want people to use are there and labeled and easy to find. I didn't stop there though. One thing I absolutely would encourage you, if you've got sub-brands or product suites or lines in your business that have their own specific look, oh my gosh, make a brand for those 2 inside your Canva. This was so helpful. Even having folders inside Canva where I would put all the different logos and all the different imagery elements for a certain course, that wasn't helpful because it's easy for things to get lost in a folder. I'm gonna tell you my workaround for that in a minute. So one thing that I did, it looks like this now. I went ahead and reorganized our brand hub so it includes the courses. Let me flip the camera around and show you more about that. Welcome inside our brand kit. So what I did here, I used to just have one big folder. Everything was thrown in there, all the logos for all the different courses. And I also had subfolders. So it was a lot. I cleaned this all up. I'm going to open a couple of these so you can see, but I have them divided into products and the logos and submarks and taglines and all in there individually. So let me go into a folder so you can see what it looks like itself. Okay, so you got your logos area that you can put, and this is where I think it's a lot easier now for me to communicate to other people. Hey, that yellow goes with that product. Don't use that yellow on other stuff. That kind of weird stuff that we who deal with aesthetics or designers, I feel like, are all about that. Fonts, you can upload those. But again, now I can specify which ones go with which offer, graphics, and you can do icons. So I have that now for the overarching brand, back to the brand hub, and then I'll go into a smaller product. So you can see, let's pick what between these two? Yeah, copywriting for creatives, the OG. Okay, so yep, logos, they're all in there. Scroll a little bit, colors, font. So see, like I can say, like I use that Miss Sepia, I guess is how you say it. I don't use this any other time except for CFC, and I can mark that here. Like that is very clear. Same with like graphics. I can give it a concept of the visual style for each of the sub brands too. So if you've got different offers that have their own little personality, highly recommend to create a little brand for each of them. The third thing I did, I reduced our folders. We had a long list of folders and I tried to number them, and it just ended up that we had like 30 different folders in there. There was no hierarchy or subfoldering, so that's something that I added. I took like 30 folders and put them in 5 major buckets. Those are Ashlyn Wright's brand, templates, I'll talk about that in a sec. Number 3, imagery elements, social media and ad development. A lot of us use Canva to create stuff that we can then churn out on social media. So that gets its own folder. And number 5, archive, because I'm always terrified if I delete something, it'll fly into the Neverlands. My trash folder in Google Drive and pretty much anything, I just make an archive folder, throw it in there. It's like the junk drawer except better. The next thing I did, I just talked about templates. I love buying Canva templates. I get some on Creative Market. I get some from just random people that I come across on Instagram or whatever. But here's the problem. You tweak the template and then you're like, well, what was the designer's original intent? What did the OG file of this look like? So I learned this from my friend Manu at your social club. Create one folder where you keep the original templates. So if you buy them off somebody on the internet, put their original doc in there. Then create another folder where you have it, you're branded. So I have one that's now Ashlyn Wright's branded template. So if I take a template that I've gotten from whomever on the internet and I change the colors and the fonts to make it more me, I put that in a separate folder. This is a huge help for our team because it's like a game of telephone, and when a style would get tweaked and tweaked and tweaked and tweaked and tweaked for 6 months, it didn't look like the original designer's file. Now I can go back and see what that looked like. The last thing I did, I communicated this inside our Slack. Slack is how I communicate with my team. Did a little Loom video of how it is and the new SOPs for it. Linked to the SOPs over in Asana. Et voila, there we go. One way you could next level this that I haven't yet, create a brand standards document. I've tried this. I just think we move too fast, but I probably need to hit the pause button, slow down, and update our brand standards document. So again, anybody who's working on the brand has the look in mind. By the way, as I'm working through these, I'm a little bit nutty about our Asana and keeping it clean. I have one board in there I go to all the time. It's called our company guidebook. I have a free version of this. It's a Trello version. Trello is just easier to share, but I'll tell you in there how to convert it to Asana. Look down below and you can grab that freebie. Number 2 system that I overhauled, my Tiger Time calendar. As a copywriter, I need deep work for writing. I do not write well when I'm distracted. I have to Cal Newport my whole systems and go into a deep work writing time of focus. This is my 100% brain time. I can't do it very long, 2, 3, 4-ish hours max. And I shared earlier this year in a different video how I've gone from having a big 3 in the day to more of a big 2, and then the other piece is some sort of team management or family thing that needs to get done. It is no secret I spit out a lot of content and copy, so I have to slot that in my calendar. So here's what I did. The tools needed for this one, Asana and Google Calendar, and here's how I overhauled things. First up, I made a long A list of all of the things and the clutter that was in my head, the tasks that needed to be done, not the projects, not the goals. I've done videos on that. I'm very particular about how I set up my goals, and I know my projects, but it was all the different tasks that require 2 hours here and 2 hours there that piled up. Not to mention then things get flown on your plate. An opportunity comes up or something needs fixing and only you can do it. What I did is make a list of all the things that only I could do, and I added to it for a few weeks until I had a good long working list. Here's a best practice that's helped me for years. I have a production calendar, a promotion calendar inside our Google Calendar, and the production is what I'm working on. I block out weeks to say, Ashlyn is working on X this week. Like that is my main goal, my main initiative. I have that. I also have theme days in my business. I have a freebie down below where I talk about how you can create your own theme days. That's something I have done now for 7 years in my business. So I know the goal of the week. I know the big project or initiative I'm working on, and I know kind of what I need to be doing each day at a more granular level. So what I then needed to do is take those little tasks and drop them on the right spot on the calendar. So I did that in Asana. You can see what it looks like right here. It was most helpful for me to go in and slot first the things that have to get done every month. A day of batch writing, the newsletters that we drop, recurring projects like scripting YouTubes, filming YouTubes, writing copy. Then I went into the other gaps that were there and slotted in the more one-off tasks that don't happen all the time. Building out a course, creating a new copy template for our 4th of July product drop. Again, let me flip the camera around and show you how I overhauled this system. I'll keep this one quick, but I took all that list of tasks that I made and I put them just on random days. And then what I like is I can drag and drop in here. So like this day, these are big scripting days. Script, and then I'm gonna film later. So if I all of a sudden decided, you know what, let's work on this prime to launch stuff over here, I can just move things around and drop them in as needed. So again, I try to keep as like 1 to 2-ish big things on each day. There's other little tasks in here, like some of these will take like a couple of minutes, but or I need to, it's like a mental note, I need to check on that, somebody else is doing it. But I have like my big work tasks no more than 2-ish pretty much every single day. For this one, what I could still do, first of all, hold to it, and second of all, use the template I've showed in YouTube's before. I have it inside my Art of Efficiency course. This template that I have to hand things off to people and hand them off well. I actually know what I'm talking about because people can't read my mind. Number 3 system I overhauled is my Evernote copy swipe file. I love my swipe file so very much. It is my little prized possession. I've worked hard on it over the years, and I love being able to go in there and pull out snippets and send them to our Copybar Collective members every single month so they can load up their own swipe files. But it was like a messy closet in the house that needed to be tightened up. So here's what I did. The first thing I did is sort out emails that I sent. I think that you should send your own stuff or put your own stuff into your swipe file, or at least have a system where you can go back and quickly kind of thumb through like a clippings file if you were a journalist of all your past works. You can see and grab ideas from that. Let me flip the camera around and show you how I do this. It is a great little Evernote hack. If you use Evernote, you can email stuff to your Evernote file. All right, so you're in Evernote. The best way to find the email address, if you go to evernote.com into your settings and stay on the account summary tab, if I were to scroll down on here at the bottom of it, it says email to, and it has a weird looking email address. I'm going to put a thing on the screen. It kind of looks like this. That's the one that you want. If you are an email copywriter or collect emails as swipes, this is so great to do because then you can file them outside of your inbox and kind of isolate things and just look at them as swipes in and of themselves. So this is a newsletter that went out earlier this week. Every time I get one of these in my inbox, I look at it, make sure it looks like I wanted it to, and I'm going to forward it to our little Evernote. So I have that email address saved in here, and I really just start typing Evernote and it comes up. Boom. And I can forward that. I'm going to click send, and it goes into a nice little folder. So I grabbed all those emails, sorted them accordingly. I also used that same technique to add any emails that I had gotten and liked from e-commerce sites or writers that I want to learn from. I forwarded those as well so I could sort them over here. The next thing I did, I cleaned up the folders. I'll put the folders here so you can see the different areas of my copy swipe file that I like to keep and study. Some of these I found I didn't really use much, or some of them then needed to be broken out a little bit more. I resorted those. The last thing I did is clean up screenshots that were littered all over my desktop and even in my phone. Sometimes if I'm scrolling on mobile and I see a headline I like, I'll screenshot it. That needs to go somewhere, and so I try to do this every single month. I'm pretty decent about it. Sending those over and putting them in Evernote too. A way I can make this system better, I could set up a rhythm of rewriting one piece of copy every day. There's so many good ad antiques out there or sales letters that if you can just train your hand and write them by hand, you'll learn a lot from. That is a copywriting tip for the ages. I've gone through seasons in my life and business where I do that. I rewrite old sales letters. I'm not quite in a phase, I don't think right now, as I'm prepping to go out on maternity leave later this year, but that would be a way I could enhance this system more. Okay, I hope that gave you a little over-the-shoulder peek into things that I have cleaned up lately in my own business and inspires you with some ways you can clean up those 3 systems in your own business. All right, comment down below. What's a system in your business that needs a little bit of a cleanup, a makeover, an overhaul? I hope that these 3 over-the-shoulders and peeks inside my own business gave you some ideas. Click like if this video helped you, and if you want to threaten your Asana or your your Trello board collection a little bit more, be sure to watch the next video I've got teed up. I'm taking you behind the scenes of how I use AI as a copywriter to help me even more with my systems and efficiency. And over there, I'll load you up with 200 AI prompts that I've got in another Trello board awaiting you. Thanks so much, as always, for watching. Here's to working from a place of more rest and less hustle. I'll see you in the next video.